case any student watching is having challenges with payment on tuition, don't give up. Relief may just be around the corner. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has launched a transformative student loan initiative aimed at enhancing access to higher education in Nigeria. The initiative, backed by the recently enacted Student Loan Act 2024, provides interest-free loans to indigent students, addressing financial barriers that may hinder educational pursuits. With an initial budget of 35 billion naira, the program targets 70,000 applicants with an additional 50,000 pending approval. This initiative not only covers tuition but also offers monthly stipends for living expenses, ensuring that students can focus on their studies without financial worries. Welcome to 30 Minutes on NTA News 24. I'm LYDIA SAMSON. The first feature by IBRAHIM GUNDA highlights the need that necessitated the Students' Loan Initiative and the process of taking the loan. It also looks at the role of state governments. Over to you, IBRAHIM GUNDA.
Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, is a student loan initiative established by the federal government, and it's one of the campaign promises of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to break financial barriers in accessing higher education. The scheme seeks to provide equal access to higher education for all eligible Nigerians, with interest-free loans for tuition fees and reduce financial stress on students and families.
His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, made a commitment during his election campaign. And that commitment, amongst many others, was one that was heavily emphasized throughout his campaign. He talked about the focus that his administration was going to give to education, the focus that his administration was going to give to youth in education. So the thing that necessitated the creation of NEL Fund was him giving his assent to a bill that passed through the National Assembly that effectively put the power of decision-making as to which institution young people want to attend at tertiary level, what courses they want to study. And those are important choices because many don't have the choice around these things, or the choices around these things, partly because they don't have the funds to go to an institution that's far away from their primary dwelling or primary or family home.
To speak to what the challenge that a lot of Nigerian families were facing in terms of ability to send their kids to school and for students to be retained in school. And so I think this government really found a way of trying to address the problem of retention of students in school. And
it is meant to ensure no Nigerian drops out of school due to inability to tackle financial obligation. The Student Loan Initiative is revolutionizing education and accessibility across Nigeria with just a click on the student loan application platform to register, and after successful verification, payment will be made to institution of choice for institutional charge, while the upkeep loan will be paid to the bank account provided by the student. NEL Fund has so far disbursed more than 11 billion naira to 105,706 beneficiaries across 98 federal and state tertiary institutions within 6 months. What are the criteria for a student to be eligible for the loan scheme and the category of the scheme?
Once you get in, you apply online, and the good thing is that it's online and you don't need to know anybody, and that is one good aspect of the program again. You apply online and then you feed in your information, and then from there on it becomes automated. You don't actually need to interface with any physical human being until towards the end of the data capturing that you do. And so it's more of an interaction between the program and the school authority. And so it's for us, it's a very good thing in the sense that it reduces that possibility of corruption, or corruption finding its way and nepotism finding its way into the program.
The first thing about this loan is that it's for Nigerian citizens. So if a person is not a Nigerian citizen, they cannot apply for this loan. That is a legal requirement. that site, they will then be required to provide certain types of information. By law, as I said before, the NIN. By our guidelines, JAM. Going further into our guidelines, they're going to need to provide a matric number that is valid or an admission number that is valid. And also, because it's a loan, which is going to be disbursed through the banking system, we have it as a compulsory requirement in our guidelines that people applying for this loan must have a bank account. And in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if you have a bank account, you must have a bank verification number. So their BVN is also. There are two types of loans that people can have access to. The first is the loan that allows the institutional charges or institutional fees to be paid. So students can apply for a loan that covers 100% the course that they have chosen to go and pursue. The second, which is contingent on the first one that I just described, is the fact that they can apply voluntarily, optionally, for an upkeep loan. That upkeep loan is the loan that allows them to receive something that you and I might describe as pocket money. That pocket money, as of today, is 20,000 naira a month. It's paid directly to the individual who's applied for the loan, and it's paid directly into their bank account. The institutional loan I referred to earlier is paid directly to the institution.
Recently, the National Educational Loan Fund released a sum of about 201 million naira to the University of Ibadan. And that's only catered for about 1,370 students. Initially there is this apathy by students to apply for the loans.
With over 98 federal and state institutions keying into the student loan scheme, how effective is the process of application to be eligible to benefit from the scheme?
This loan application is completely devoid of paper. In other words, it's an electronic application that can only be accessed via the internet by approaching or logging on to a site that we have created, we being NELFund. The address for that site is www.nelf.gov.ng.
But in Kogi State, I believe that I have children that are students, that are undergraduates, and they have also processed their, they have actually gone online to register, and we're still waiting. We heard that they are going from one state to the other. We hope that when it gets to Kogi State, things will run smoothly. But it is only an appeal to the authorities in Abuja, the people that are given this responsibility, to kindly do the needful by being diligent enough and be sympathetic enough. For me, as I am, I may still be able to pay my children's fee. There are people who may not be able to pay at all. So if I am to concede, I will say, okay, let me sit down. Let us pick the next person that totally may drop out of school because they may not be able to pay.
What role can state government and other stakeholders play in the loan scheme?
This student loan has been deployed to Nigerians for it to be able to access higher education and also to be able to even access technical skills. What it means is that our students in polytechnics, our students in the institutions that are registered to train Nigerians through acquiring skills, our students in the universities, our students in the colleges of education can access this loan. Indigent students can access this loan to further their educational careers.
So if you borrow 100,000, you pay back 100,000. Now in this environment where interest rates are high, an interest-free loan is a very attractive proposition for anyone. If they have a job, then there's an expectation that they will let their employer know that they need to pay the loan back or begin to pay the loan back. There are already plans in place also for employers to be able to check as to whether those they are employing have a loan with the NEL fund. In the event that the answer to that question is yes, then the obligation on the employer is to take 10% of that person's income and remit it to the loan fund. If I flip that and a person doesn't have a job 2 years after NYSC, we help them find work as NEL fund.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is building a better future. He's building a solid Nigeria. He's building education. Because I said earlier, education is the best gift you can give to any nation. And in future time, Nigeria will feel the impact of this loan initiative to Nigeria students.
Beautiful thing, it has started, not without its challenges, but if the government is consistent, the challenges will be overcome, and the students who are benefiting from it would really benefit from it.
Yes, if you have that loan and you are able to pull through your school, and at the end of the day, you come out, you now know that you owe a responsibility to pay back. So even when you're in your place of work in later life, when you take loan from any organization, you know that it is something that you have to pay back. So they are learning it at an early stage as students. So I really want to commend the presidency for that.
Unlike the previous 2022 bill, the new act has eliminated the family income threshold, enabling all Nigerian students to apply for the loan and accept responsibility for repayment according to the fund's guidelines.
Thanks for your insight. Hopefully, deserving students are better equipped. Our next feature by Thomas OGBETERE further interrogates the benefits of the loan. It clarifies who are the targeted beneficiaries are and what it means for parents and students. I'm curious though, are private universities included? Over to you, Thomas.
The introduction of the federal government student education loan has been applauded as a game changer for many families who hitherto may be tackling financial challenges, as the initiative is offering financial relief and opportunities for students who may have previously struggled to fund their education.
I know of 2 or 3 persons that have gotten the student loan, but I don't know the certain amount they are being paid.
They have applied for this and it truly works for them. Their school fees have been paid.
Without this assistance, I don't think we can continue with our academic career.
I really want to thank the government for initiating this student loan into the current situation we're facing in right now as students. Presently, I haven't gotten mine yet. I think mine should be processing, or they said they are still processing ours.
My friend, she's a beneficiary of the loan, and it has really helped her to some certain extent. She said they pay the school fees and then they give them 20,000 per month.
Launched as part of federal government's commitment to enhancing education in Nigeria, the education loan scheme has provided an invaluable opportunity for thousands of Nigerian students. It's been particularly beneficial for students from low-income families, many of whom has found it difficult to afford tuition fees, accommodation, feeding, and other educational expenses.
It's a scheme that is for every student, irrespective of your tribe, irrespective of where you are coming from, irrespective of your background. In as much you are a Nigerian, in as much you are a student, and you are a student in a public tertiary institution in Nigeria, you have an access to it. This is just to tell that everyone that the story of my parents do not have money to send me to school is the reason why I cannot further my education. The story that because my friend, his parents are from a rich family, that is why he has an access, or she has an access to a better education. But all level, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has opened a door for every individual, every household, or every student, or anybody who wants to be educated in this country today to have an access to a quality and accessible education through this net fund. And it's just a simple way of you getting the loan. What matters is you must be a matriculated student, well-registered student from well-recognized institution in Nigeria, whether polytechnics, whether colleges of education, whether universities. Once you are a registered student in all these schools that I've mentioned, and they are public institutions, you have an access to it. And the president also go forward by saying that he understands that it's not everybody that is interested in formal education. He also gives room for those who are interested in informal education. So for those that are not interested in going to college of education, university, or polytechnics, probably you are interested in one of two skills that you want to engage yourself or you want to do. The loan is also open for them. This is just that the president knows that by 2027 or 2028, one, it will improve the level of literacy in Nigeria. It will also reduce out of school children in Nigeria.
Parents across the nation are expressing their gratitude, stressing that the loan eases the burden of financing their children's university education. For many, this means fewer sleepless nights, worrying about how to pay for the next semester's fees, in what otherwise could have been a very dark time for some families. This gesture by the federal government, they reiterate, is a commendable move to address the rising cost of education. However, while the scheme has largely been well received, there are still calls to expand its reach. Many stakeholders, including private university students, have urged the government to include private universities in the loan program. Currently, the scheme is focused on public institutions, and students attending the private university are left out.
Well, it is very welcome. It's a welcome venture to extend it to private universities. So we're all part of the government. Very good initiative by the federal government of Nigeria, which is going to help students, both the poor and the do ones. It is going to really help them in order to make the requirements of their own needs.
No, as far as you can apply for private investment, that means you are rich, you have the money, so there's no need for us to extend it to the private sectors. The public sector is okay.
I wouldn't say it should be extended to the private university, because for you to set up a private university, it means you are financially capacitated. It means you have the financial wherewithal. It means you have the financial strength, or in other words, you have the financial muscle.
To which this assistance or initiated by federal government, many students were able to attend universities, federal college of education, polytechnics, and many tertiary institutions.
Another key component of the loan scheme that has gained attention is the repayment structure. Beneficiaries of the loan will have a 2-year grace period after completing their National Youth Service before they are required to begin repaying the loan. This flexible repayment plan is designed to give graduates some breathing rooms as they transition from national service to the workforce.
Federal University of Ekiti, they have received their own first phase of the money, school fees of students being paid. I'm from Ekiti State. I'm just telling you that is from my state. And I did a program, International Student Day, on Wednesday. Most of the students who came from that university, because they left on Tuesday, while they were coming, some received their stipend, their upkeeping alerts while they are on their way coming. So far so good. In the south, schools that have enjoyed, I can tell you today categorically that Futo, they are part of the University of Benin, University of Maiduguri in the north east, in the northwest, BUK has also benefited and they have received money. I'm saying this in confidence. I'm saying this the fact that is there. University of Ilorin, University of Ibadan in the southwest as well, and so on and so forth. They have received money, huge amount of money. In Oyo State, Federal College of Education Specials have received. Polytechnics have received as well. You know, all these are those who have received money. And let me say something about the payment mode. Yes, Asiwaju is a man that he has a plan for this country, and that is why I'm always in any gathering I see myself and I'm with my colleagues, I always advise and I always preached the gospel of the renewed hope to them, and I always tell them they should calm down, they should be patient, that the president mean well for Nigerians, and he's a man that come with goodies, and that he's cooking a lot of things. We should just be patient. You know, if you are not patient, if you rush to go and taste your soup on the fire, it's either at the end of the day you miss your because it will definitely affect your tongue, and by the time the soup is done, you will enjoy it. So Asiwaju is a man that is cooking a lot, and he has done a lot within the short period of time. He is a man that believes that if he's giving loan and he wants people to have an access to it, to continue having access to it, he said you pay back. Paying back mode is 2 years when you graduate. After you graduate, you went to NYC, you served your country, and you came back. 2 years, you started paying. And if you don't have a job, then you go to court and swear and affidavit that I've not gotten job, and so nobody will stop you. It's not a loan that you collect that your mommy or your daddy will be sleeping, or you will be sleeping and somebody will come and knock at your door. Because you have not paid the loan, they are taking you to court. No, the president said when you have a job, then you started paying. If you don't have a job, after 2 years, you go to court to go and start for them to extend it until you have a job. And for the president to say that now, the president came up with job creation, and so far so good. People are getting jobs.
Overall, the Nigerian federal government student education loan is a vital tool that is helping many students achieve their academic dreams. However, there is a call for a broader inclusion. For now, the scheme, stakeholders say, remains a beacon of hope for students in public institutions, and the flexible repayment terms ensure that graduates can manage their financial responsibility with ease.
Experts believe success of this initiative ultimately hinges on balancing immediate financial relief with sustainable educational funding reforms to foster long-term economic growth and equity. Therefore, balancing these outcomes is crucial for shaping sustainable economic future as educational cost continues to rise. We thank you very much for your company. See you next time. I'm LYDIA. SAMSON.